I love suffering. No, I'm kidding. That sounded really gross. I mean, like it's sometimes you learn a lot just by kind of like dealing with the mistakes that you've made. You know. Um, again, saving certain by working with like the midtones first, I'm able to like refine um, some areas with my darkest darks and my lightest lights. Okay. Um, oh, hey, thanks for stopping by. This is really cool. I'm so, oh my gosh, there's like so many. Oh, this means a lot. Thanks for being here. Um, okay. I'm starting to go in now with like the face. I'm going to be attempting to clean up the hair. Um, oh, sometimes when you're working through a piece like this, you realize like, oh no, the colors I chose like probably weren't aren't the best. That's totally that happens all of the time. And the next stream I'll be hosting, I'll be talking about like like what how what do you do when um when that happens, like better ways to build like color palettes and stuff like that. um Sometimes when you're working through like a piece, like after you like work with it, that's when you realize like, whoops, this was a bad idea, I shouldn't have used these colors. And that's totally normal. Another kind of tip that I would suggest is another great thing about like working with a silhouette like this is there are times where color fields for different parts of the figure are going to like bleed into each other, but it just um, I personally get like really nervous making those decisions, but it just flows a lot more naturally with like um, by using this method than with like line art. Because when I build a figure with line art, it feels so much more. It feels so much more of a risk, right? Because like I mentioned, building up from like a line art usually means you're committing to this form, and anything that you do over anything that you do over the form just feels like so much more of a risk. Um, um, boop, little highlight. That was fun. Um, again, like I mentioned before, this black is, or this really dark blue might be like a bit too dark for my tastes. Oh, in that case, I guess this would be the proper time to dither. So, I don't typically like to dither. This is another case of like sometimes it's like a style choice. When you choose to like dither, it's best to dither when you like one are working with a limited color palette and there's no other way to achieve that mid-tone. You don't usually need to dither if that's not really a concern of yours, right? Like, oh, and that like helps fix the problem of like, oh my god, that dark blue was so dark. Oh right. The reason why I personally don't like I'm not a huge fan of dithering is because I feel like it can read a little bit noisy, and I just don't really see the need for dithering if you're not, working with a limited palette. But in this case, we are, so I'll just be, dithering in like these like fields that like need it. Um, oh, again, sorry if I'm missing your comments and stuff like that. Um, I might not be doing a good job of toggling back and forth between windows. My bad. Oh, does anybody have any like questions, by the way, about any of the techniques that I'm like kind of using right now? Oh, right, right. Dithering is like really great for giving things texture. Thank you for bringing that up. This is why it's like so nice to have like other artists in like the chat, like so that everyone can again like the choice of dithering can be like a stylistic thing, right? Like I don't usually dither, but there are some artists that like dither a lot and it looks fantastic when they do it. Oh, and I know it's like some people are against it, but I think it'd be really cool if if any artists like on that are like currently in the stream right now, like if you guys want to share any of your like any of your social media, like don't be afraid to promote yourself. Like I think this is like a really good opportunity for to like kind of like I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. To kind of like network, I guess. Whoops, I said I was only gonna like refine the face, but I ended up like doing a lot more. Okay. Okay, if I blaze through this really quickly, I feel like I can actually like get a lot done. So let me just try it. I'm a liar. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, if at any point, any of you guys are like, okay, I get the point, like, let's move on, like, please let me know. If any of you guys decide to do anything with like a limited like palette and you want to share it to the Google Doc, again, please go for it. Like, it'll be just really cool to see other artists like work in the folder. I'm actually thinking of like renaming the folder because I feel like it's not just like my thing at this point, you know, like so many people are like contributing their experiences and things like that, that I would like it to be kind of a collaborative effort. I don't know, those are just some thoughts. If anyone's like, no, that's a dumb idea, like, totally let me know. Well, I like to use the move tool sometimes. If there are any like super traditional pixel artists like in the chat, I'm sorry, but I'm not like sorry enough to stop doing that. So I know it's like wrong, but like I'm not gonna, like, take it or leave it. I'm not a good influence. That dark blue is really dark. Not a huge fan of how dark it is. In cases like that, when you're like, maybe this is too dark, sometimes it's good to go in and instead of relying so heavily on like darker colors to maintain that contrast, like it's totally fine to do what I'm doing right now and just use the lighter tones to establish contrast. Like this. And I think that works a bit better. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't even have to be like new. It doesn't have to be new things. Throw in like whatever you think is like relevant and maybe I should like have like maybe I don't know, maybe if there was like a better format in which like everyone could share their work, maybe everyone could have their own folders or something. I don't know. Sorry, I'm kind of like running ahead of myself with all of these ideas. But if anyone wants me to include their Twitter or their like any other social media, like any other information in the Google Doc as well, feel free to let me know and I will be sure to do that. Okay. Now I'm just working in some highlights because I feel, how do I think of things to draw? Um, uh, uh, oh, that's a great idea. Oh, how do I think of things to draw? Sorry, I'm going back and forth. I'm so bad at focusing. I'm so sorry. Uh, um, I just want a lot of things. No, no, that's a terrible way to answer that question.